friends. Welcome to episode 178 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha, and you can find me anywhere online as Adriata. I'm coming to you today from my home in Central Florida, and it is Friday evening, October 18th. Yes, October 18th. If you're new, welcome. I hope you find something here that you can connect with. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Y'all know it takes me a while to get recording and posting and stuff. So thank you for being here. We'll jump right into some bright spots. Last episode was my podiversary episode. It was my 8th podiversary. So happy 8th birthday, Quirky Monday Craftcast. Woo! So thank you to all the people who said congratulations on 8 years. A couple people said that their bright spots was watching and enjoying my podcast. There were a couple people who commented that they've been here since the beginning, and I love that, you start recognizing names. So like I'm seeing, different usernames, and I'm like, yes, I remember you. I know you. And it's really, really cool. So I'm glad that even though I am so inconsistent, you guys are still here for me, and that makes me feel good. We do have a couple bright spots that were not about my podcast or about the podiversary. Akira from the Knitting Annihilator podcast left a comment, and she said, my bright spot this week has been finishing a book that took me... Wait, I have to think in my head how she would say it so I can say it right. She said, my bright spot this week has been finishing a book that took me down through there and the excitement of starting another book. Knitting Angel 67's bright spot was my podcast and changing of the season, and they said they love the fall colors. I am always so jealous of you all that get fall, because here in Florida we don't have fall. Like this week, Wednesday and Thursday, the temperature dropped down into like the 70s. I think like part of the day it was like 68, and I was outside like, oh, let me put on a sweater. I took advantage of, provided Wednesday I was not ready. I'll show you the garment that I wore on Wednesday. It was just not a chunky sweater, and when I got outside and I felt the temperature, I was like, I've missed my opportunity. I was really upset about that, because we only get a handful of those cold days anyway. But Thursday I was ready. So you all who get fall, real fall with changing colors and everything, just know that Kalisha, big jealous. Enjoy the fall for me. Go crunch some leaves for me. Let's see. Cat Yarncraft says, bright spot, I have a vacation week ahead of me, and I really, really need this. I hear that, and I feel it in the underneath of my spirit. Like, I hope that vacation week was everything that you needed, and that you feel or felt rejuvenated and renewed at the end of it. Because when I tell you, your girl needs a vacation as well. Okay, let's see. I think there was one more bright spot in here. Yeah, J.M. Corella said, thanks for the trip down memory lane talking about being a library haunting introverted kid. My library was on the next block from where I lived, a huge stone building with ivy and cement lions and huge curved staircases and magic. That sounds amazing. Those memories were my bright spot this week. The way if I lived close to a fancy library like that, they would have to regularly put me out. Like, go home, Kalisha. That sounds amazing. But thank you all for sharing your bright spots. If you don't know what bright spots are, they are just a place where you can share the good, like things that make you smile, something that made you smile this week, or something that makes you feel good or warm on the inside that, you know, you can share to share that positivity with others. My bright spot this week was definitely the cool weather, because, you know, we Florida knitters and crocheters are regularly on the struggle bus when it comes to making things. So when that temperature dips, if that temperature dips anywhere below 80, best believe I am wearing something cozy. I might get crazy looks, but I don't care, because it's going to be coolish outside. And then inside, they still going to have the air conditioning on. So it's going to be extra cool inside. And I'm going to be cozy. We love it. But yes. So finished objects. I'm going to put my little notes over here. And I have most of my finished objects on the floor next to me. Okay. I have most of my finished objects on the floor next to me, and a couple of them I will be just putting up pictures. So the first one that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to have pictures of. So I have been doing a monthly project of making these little top hats for my Grinch stuffed animal that I have at work. And I put up 3 shelves on my office wall, and they have like a lot of little Grinchy things. So the new students have been coming by my office to turn in paperwork and stuff. And a lot of them come in and they're just like, so you like the Grinch? And I'm always like, just a little bit. But one of my favorite things that I have started doing was crocheting little hats, little seasonal hats for my Grinch. And this is a picture of the one that I made for September. It's supposed to be a pencil. I don't think I nailed that, but it's fine. I did not get, like, Mr. Grinch did not get to wear this hat in September because I made it in October. It's okay. There's always next year, you know. The world is still spinning. He'll wear it next year. And then I made one for October. And out of all of the hats that I have made, this by far is the best one, because I did some tapestry crochet on it to make it look like a jack-o'-lantern. And here's his October hat. I am so proud of it. I even did a little curly Q on top of it. So I need to get on top of his hat for November so that I can be ready to put it on his head at the beginning of the month so it can be up there the whole month. I don't know if I'm going to do a like turkey theme or a fall leaves theme for his November hat. But I definitely know for December, I'm going to make an elf hat with a really, really, really long tail. And then I have to make one for January. And once I do that, he'll have the whole year. But I love this. I love long-term projects, and I also love a collection of things. So these Mr. Grinch hats have been really fun little quick projects. Hi friends, it's Sunday now, and we're back to finish this episode. Let me just preface the rest of this video with, I stayed up way past bedtime last night reading, and I am so tired now. Honestly, I probably should just go get in the bed now and sleep until tomorrow. But if I did that, then there would be no recording, and I am home alone again. So look, we were home alone on Friday. We were home alone on Sunday. What is this? We're taking advantage. So the last clip ended with me talking about my Mr. Grinch hats, and I did finish talking about that. So that was the first set of finished objects. Next, okay, so I have a bunch of finished objects that I want to share with you guys, but I'm gonna share the good ones and then I'm gonna share the shenanigans. So we have this one. Well, we'll do that one. Okay. We got this guy, we got this guy, and we got this guy. All right, so first, let's talk about this piece. So this is a knit and crochet sweater that I freestyled. The body is just like straight rectangle. I did, what is this, moss stitch? Yeah, I think this is called double moss stitch. And then I did that at the top and at the bottom for the bottom ribbing. The body is just straight stockinette. And then the sleeves I crocheted, and I think I used, oh, I did treble crochets and double crochets and kind of alternated whether I was going through both loops or just the back loop or what have you. Just kind of trying to play around with those basic stitches. It's kind of like a boat neck opening, just straight across, nothing fancy. And when I was making this sweater, I was thinking about how I am currently in love with sweatshirts, crew necks. Like, I have too many. So what do? When we have too many of something? We start making them. So I wanted to make this sweater big and loose fitting like some of my favorite sweatshirts. This yarn is, I can't remember. I'll find it and put it on the screen. I saw it online and there was this blue colorway and then there was a green colorway. And the pictures online, I really liked both of them. But then when I got to the store, the green one was a little bit more grungy than I wanted. So I decided to go with the blue. I think this used either 2 or 3 balls of the yarn. And I didn't, excuse me, I didn't do any kind of yarn management or anything. You know, I think I did 3 balls because one for the front, one for the back, and one for the sleeves. And this is just so cozy. I love this thing and I kind of want to make another one. So yeah, love that. My next finished object is a bag. This is also made from a Karen Cakes yarn. You know what? I think these are the same yarn. I think they are. Do I have the wrapper anywhere? Ball man? Nope. But I got this yarn from Michael's last year, I think. And I just had one cake just chilling in my stash. So one night I was trying to finish reading one of my books and I wanted something to crochet on while I was reading. So I decided to make the 2 granny squares. And then I was like, oh, I want to try to make that tote bag where you do 3 granny squares and join them like this to make a little tote bag. So I did that. And then so that all of my things don't fall out the bottom, I made a solid granny for the bottom, or a solid square for the bottom. I was able to use all of this yarn. So there is none left in my stash. And then this yarn here, I think is Red Heart with Love. And I just love this particular shade of brown. It's like, I guess, a cinnamony kind of brown. But I have really enjoyed this. I've been carrying this bag for the last couple days. And it's just really simple and cute. And I love it. Okay. The next finished object is It started out on my maker plans, and actually it started out on my works in progress because I started working on it on Friday. Because I did not finish recording on Friday, it is now a finished object. And that is this hat. This is the November Sky beanie. This thing looks huge. Why is this hat so big? Because my hair is so big, that's why. This is the November Sky beanie by Hannah Siegmund. She is the designer and podcaster behind the Cozy Cottage Crochet. So this is one of her patterns. This yarn is Big Twist Party. I have it sitting here. I really enjoyed crocheting with this yarn, or I really enjoy working with this yarn because it's really pretty, it's soft. Crocheting with this yarn is a little frustrating though, because it's so loosely plied that as you're crocheting with it, it just completely untwists. So for a lot of this hat, I was just basically crocheting with what, 4 strands of yarn next to each other, or like 6. Yeah, just loose strands of yarn next to each other. But this is how it looks on. Ta-da! You're probably thinking, oh, Kalisha, you know, you live in Central Florida. Why do you need such a thick winter hat? Well, the first weekend in November, Lamar and I are going to Tennessee. So I will be wearing all of the hand knits, and I needed a new hat so that I could match the foliage. I am so excited. So excited for real fall. Ah. Oh yes, it's I'm gonna have a great time. I'm gonna have a good time frolicking in the foliage. That's my November Sky Bee. And I'm gonna be wearing it for the first time in November. Oh, how cute. How cute. Okay. The next finished object is a pattern that I have made multiple times. This is the Trelawny top by Tamy Gore. And it's not blocked or anything. Can you get yourself together, ribbing? Hold it together. Okay. This yarn is West Yorkshire Spinners in the colorway. It's one of their Christmas colorways called Starry Night. I think it's called Starry Night. But as you can see, it is very sparkly. Those nice little shades of midnight blue and stuff like that. So this isn't like finished, because what I'm going to do, I'm excited about this plan as well. I am going to do some embroidery and beading around, I think just the front of the yoke. Yeah, because you can never see the back of my yokes anyway because of my hair. So just the front of the yoke, I'm going to embroider constellations. And I'm going to put my favorite constellations from the winter night sky across the front. And the stars are going to be, I think, just regular gold beads. And then I'm going to stitch like the lines to connect the constellations together. I think that's all I'm going to do. I might get some star beads, like star-shaped beads to sprinkle in there, possibly. But the only thing that I'm definitely doing is the night sky constellations. Just even thinking about that is just, oh, it makes me feel so good. I should get this done for our trip to Tennessee. I should try that. Oh man, you know what I just thought about? I just thought today is the 20th, right? So tonight into tomorrow is the peak of the Oranid meteor shower. And I want to watch it. But y'all, I'm so tired. Tootie. Toot, can you please stop licking your feet? Toot! Toot. Can you please stop licking your feet? All right, so those are all of my, oh wait, no, I'm sorry. There's one more finished object. It was hiding. This is my last finished object. Well, my last finished object that doesn't have any shenanigans and tomfoolery. So this is another one of those big scrunchies that I have been making. And this, I don't know, for months I have been haunting my local Dollar Trees, waiting for them to do like an orange chenille yarn. And they did. It's looking more orange on screen. In real life, it's kind of like a really dark peachish coral, closer to coral, but I'm happy with this. So yeah, made that. I have, of course, more that I've been collecting to make more big scrunchies for my big hair. And I get so much use out of these. And they make me happy because, like, before this, I had only been using my plain black scrunchies. And, like, now I feel fancy and fun, right? We can all use a little fun and fancy. All right, so this last finished object is the one that is just tomfoolery, shenanigans, WTF is going on here. It looks wonderful, don't it? Like, look at that. Such a good job, Kalisha. Yes. Let me tell you about this pattern. So this pattern is called the Red River Cave Top, and it's a drops pattern. This is only the second time I've worked with a drops pattern. The first time was when I did the baby onesie for my best friend's son. And that time, I don't even think I really had any issues because I was modifying the pattern so heavily anyway. But this one, I was like just following it as it was written. I don't understand how you gonna tell me to work section B as before when there was no before. And I know there was no before because I was like, oh wait, you're telling me that I did this already, so let me go look back in the instructions and see what you told me to do the first time. But there is no first time. And then how are you going to give me a final number of stitch counts in a section, and then in the instructions where you tell me how many stitches are in each little piece, those do not add up to the final? Like, that is not how math works, friends. I was so incredibly frustrated getting through this yoke part. Like, when I got to about here, I was like, you know what? We just gonna have to like hit and hope. And I was like, okay, so after a certain point, you have like, you're supposed to have like 300 stitches or something like that. I was like, look, let me see how many stitches I have. I'm a fudge it. Exactly, Zeus. That's how I felt too. I'm a fudge it. We gonna have 300. We just gonna go on from there. It's fine. Nobody cares. And then when I separated for the sleeves and worked down, this part was all fine because there was no increases or anything. But this business up here, hot garbage. I almost gave up on this top so many times, but it's very cute. I took a picture and I sent it to my mom and I was like, look what I made. And she was like, oh, wow, that's really cute. I need one. And I was like, that is too bad, sweetie. That is too bad, because there is no way that I'm going to do this again. No way. There is no way. No. I did wear it to work though, and I got lots of compliments. Well, I got a couple compliments. A couple compliments is lots of compliments if you ask me. But I did wear it to work. I felt very fancy. This yarn is the Patton's linen. And I have like none left over. It used all of the 3 balls that I had. And yeah, when I bought this yarn, I knew that I wanted it to be a like open work, light and lacy crochet top. So I'm glad that the yarn got to grow up into what I imagined it to be when I bought it. So that's pretty cool. I like how it feels when I'm wearing it. And I saw like at my local Joann, they have a couple colors of this on clearance. So I might get some more. I'm not sure, but yes, we made it at the end. We made it, but we was struggling. So that is all of our finished objects. Let's talk about works in progress. Was that all of our finished objects? Yes. Yes. So works in progress. This is the tiniest one that I have. I have started a new pair of socks. All I have is a cuff and 1 row of the stockinette portion. Uh-oh, everything's falling. Ooh. So, let me show you the yarn. This is Regia, Arne and Carlo's design line, Mountains and Fjords. I think I got, no, this is not an anniversary yarn. I got this yarn when it was last year around the 4th of July, when Lamar was planning his HBCU trip. We went to Savannah. Yeah, I think that's where we were. But we stopped at a yarn store and I got this. So this is what it's looking like so far. And I started these socks just because I wanted to have a small stockinette project just to work on. So who knows how long it's going to take me to finish these, but you know, we're never pressed about finishing socks like super fast anymore. Okay, my next work in progress is, okay, I have 2 more works in progress. So I'll show you this one. This is the project that's going along with this month's Disney Twisted Tale that I'm reading with Akira of the Knitting Annihilator podcast. We're reading the Alice in Wonderland story. It's called Unbirthday, and we're reading that one because Akira's birthday is Halloween. So happy birthday, girly. Even though hopefully this will come out before Halloween, but who even knows? So what I'm attempting to, is an Amigurumi Cheshire Cat, okay? I am using, let me grab the book. Okay, I'm using my Edward's Menagerie book, and I love this book. It's so cute. And this is the pattern that I was following for Alexander, the Russian blue cat. So that's what it looks like, right? And the body that I made looks like that body. The head that I made does not look like that head. Like, I've made this head twice, and I don't understand. But I'm gonna, I don't know. So this is what I've got so far. And the color scheme I'm going with is the gray and purple, because the character that I suspect represents the Cheshire Cat in the book wears a gray suit and he has like a purple vest that he wears. And they described his eyes as like very hazel, that they're almost orange. And these are the cat eyes that I got from Joanne. I know those are not like super orange, but close enough. Now, because this head shape is not, I don't think it's giving cat energy, right? I don't think that this is like cat-like. What is happening here? I don't think this is really cat-like. And it doesn't even look like that guy. Like this one has like a pronounced indentation right here, and this does not. And I didn't skip anything, but you know, whatever. So my third try of making this head is going to be from the Peek-a-Pow 2 book. And my thoughts are to make the head from this cat and then attach that to this body. I don't know if it's going to work. And I'm also thinking about not carrying the striping into the head. So I'll do the head probably just the light gray and dark gray, maybe. And then stripe in the purple on the ears and the arms and legs and tail. I don't know. We're kind of making it up as we go along, but this was making me feel like it was more of like a rat. And it could also be because the tip is purple, even though this isn't meant to be the nose. It just happened to be the way that I striped it. But even still, like even if you cover that, I'm not seeing cat. And then let me show you my first head. I don't know where the actual one is, but I have a picture. Every time I look at this cat head, it just makes me think, oh, that's just a stripy Tootie. Like it just looks like Tootie, and I don't understand. I don't understand. That doesn't look like a cat. I don't understand. But whatever. We'll figure it out. I'm enjoying working on it. It is a fun little project to kind of try to piecemeal together and figure out how to make it work. And even if it does end up looking like hopelessly like Tootie, I had sent a picture of it to Akira and she was like, oh, it's just the Cheshire Toot. And I was like, I kind of love that. So either it's going to be a Cheshire cat or it's going to be a Cheshire Toot. And either way, it's going to live on my shelves. I finally picked this pattern back up, or this project back up. This is the Adriata top. It is a pattern by Joji Locatelli. And I started working on it. Then I lost it. Then I found it, picked it up, started working on it again, got a little bit frustrated, made my way through the back, had to turn around and do the front. I don't know what I was reading. And when I realized the mistakes that I made on the front, I did not feel like frogging back the like 12 rows with lace that I knit. So we just kept it pushing. And so yesterday, or rather, I think it was last night while I was up too late reading, I was knitting on this project. And the only reason I was able to knit and read was because I joined it in the round and I'm just knitting. So the pattern itself looks like this. So it's got the lace that comes down the shoulders, like the armholes, and then goes down the side of the body. My lace just goes down the armhole, and then when I joined in the round, I'm just knitting stockinette straight down because I'm through with the lace. We're over it. So this is what I have so far. So this side that you're looking at is the back, or rather, we'll just say it's the first side. Is it the first side? Yes, this is the first side. So as you can see, we've got a nice little straight and then some increases here. Nice little lacy lace. We love it. Beautiful. Good job, Kalisha. Good job. What is that? Whatever. Ignore it. It's fine. So yeah, we got a little good time there. Good time. Then we turned around and went on this side. I started doing the increases way too early. And then when I realized it, I was like, oh well, we're just going to go straight until it's the right length to move to the second part. So yeah, look at that. And do we care? No. What I'm going to do is knit the body knit the body until it's 14 inches because that's the length that I like from after I split for sleeves on the top, 14 inches straight down. And then I will decide which one is the front and which one is the back. That's all she wrote. I'm not tripping off of this in Timor, but I think it's going to look really nice on me. I love this color. It's such a nice color. And those are all of my works in progress. So for maker plans, I mentioned how I want to do the embroidery on that sweater, which I'm really excited about that. And I need to decide exactly which constellations that I want to put on my sweater. Definitely Gemini, Canis Major, Orion, Leo, Cassiopeia, Perseus, maybe. Who else do I talk to? Fun fact about me. When I was younger, I went through this time when I was like really feeling extraordinarily lonely, like legitimately, like I felt like nobody cared about me at all. And what I used to do was go outside and I would look at the stars. And it just so happened that the sky that I really like at that particular time in my life, it was the nighttime or the winter sky. And so I developed this attachment to the winter sky and those constellations. And my favorite star is Arcturus. And what I would do was whenever I started feeling like, nobody cares about me, whatever, and start getting like down or whatever, I would go out in the front yard and I would sit and I would stare up at the sky. And the fact that those constellations were always there, and especially Arcturus, because Arcturus is what's known as a never set star. So for us in the Northern Hemisphere, it doesn't drop below the horizon line. So provided, when it's right above the horizon, you can't see it. But just the idea that this particular star is never going to be like gone, like it's always there, was something that I held on to. Like that was a lifeboat for me. So I would go outside and I would see like these constellations, and I always felt like I was being surrounded by these friends that were always there for me, and they were always consistent. Like I know where to look to find them. I can visualize them in my head, So I want to take those stars and put them across my chest. And I just love that so much. So I'm going to be working on that. So that's a maker plan that I'm going to be finishing. Another maker plan that I have, I got this, I don't even know where it came from, but I got this need to crochet a forest green, not crochet, but to make a forest green sweater. And I want it to be like a pullover. I want it to be, kind of loose, like big and loose and comfy and snuggly and very cozy. I've been kind of doodling ideas, and I think what I want to do is a very simple body of the sweater and then do something funky on the sleeves, kind of like what I did with my blue sweater here. But I think I want to do like a big like statement cable down the sleeve, down both sleeves, and then I don't know, maybe a very simple texture across the body, or maybe just stockinette across the body. Not entirely sure. But I just, one day I was just overcome with the need to make a forest green sweater. And like, I want it to be this, like this forest green. I'm very excited about it. I bought some yarn. I got 2 of the Red Heart pound yarn, whatever. And then I also, in their forest green color, and I also got the dark green color of the Hobby Lobby I Love This yarn. And I'm not entirely sure which one I'm going to use. I know the I Love This yarn starts out a lot softer than the Red Heart, but Red Heart, after you wash and dry it, like relaxes out and it softens up. So I'm still playing around with which one I like. I like the color of the Red Heart one better than the color of the I Love This yarn. But I might just end up with 2 sweaters. Who knows? The world is my oyster. But yeah, so that's something that I want to do. I have started swatching and kind of like seeing what my gauge looks like, so I can kind of start putting in numbers and measurements and things and working my ideas and making them real. I love this part of making, like when I come up with an idea and then I can start like doodling and bringing it to life. That is just magical, in my opinion. Zeusy boy, why are you crying? Really? Are you the saddest boy? Yeah. What are you sad about? Are you lonely? Don't come over here, because every time you come over here, you mess something up. Go to your bed. He's looking at me like, I can't believe you just told me to go to my bed. So dejected. Okay. So my last maker plan is I want to make the Umbridge crochet vest by The Dream Crochet. And this is a pattern that I've had in my library for a very long time. Like, I've basically had a bunch of her patterns in my collection for a really, really, really long time. I want to make this crochet vest because it's really, really textured, and I feel like it is the perfect, like, fall crochet, okay to wear in Florida type thing, right? The styling that she does with her finished piece is over a top. But when I looked at it, I was like, oh, you know, it's thick enough so that I could potentially wear it, you know, when I work on campus and not be like scandalizing people with my collarbones. But I really want to make one of those in some sort of fall color, be it like, I don't know, a mustard, a burnt orange, a forest green, you know, like a navy blue, like those rich fall colors, like a burgundy. I need to make that. So that is on my list of things to make as well. So I'm really excited about these maker plans. A lot of times I come up with like things that I want to put on my list to make, but I kind of like make my, like, write down my ideas of things that I want to make, or like my to be made list, right? And then I get distracted and do something completely different, and I never come back around to those. But I think with this set, like my forest green sweater, it's definitely happening. This Umbridge crochet vest, I'm really excited about it. And the constellation embroidery. If I don't finish the constellation embroidery like now, I know that that's going to happen like soon because I want to take pictures in the finished sweater with the embroidery underneath the night sky. Ugh. That just makes me so happy. I love the winter night sky so much. They're my friends. But yeah, so that's everything for maker plans. The next thing that I had on my list was stash positions, and the only thing I wrote down was that orange yarn that I made the scrunchie out of. Fun fact, I wrote this this show notes and I wrote the orange yarn, and I was planning to show it to you in the skein, and then I immediately went ahead and made the scrunchie, so there's that. So I don't think I have any other, well, I kind of have some stash acquisitions, more like supplies for another maker plan, but it's like in the spin me a yarn section. So this is only the second time that we're having this section. This is the Kalisha's getting back into reading and is really excited about it section. So over the summer, I found out that my library, I love our library, just throwing that out there. But I found out that our library participates in the Beanstack. Anyway, it's this app where libraries can have, it's Beanstack. It's this app where libraries can have reading challenges and things like that, where you can track, how many books you finished in a certain time, how many minutes you've read, how many pages, things like that. And my library over the summer did a summer reading challenge, a summer reading challenge. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And because of the reading challenge, it was really pushing me to read, and aside from, sorry, my nose is itching. Aside from just being excited about getting back into reading and falling back in love with it, having that challenge aspect really kept me going. It was exciting. And I thought, like, okay, once the summer reading challenge is over, I'm probably just going to get rid of the app. It was fun. There were more challenges. So right now we have the Fall into Reading challenge, which goes from September 1st to December 22nd or to December 21st. And then also the Hallow Read challenge, which is October 1st to October 31st. Previously, there was a Hispanic Heritage Month challenge. And not only do they do things like, you have to read a certain number of books within the time, like the dates of the challenge, they also give you different activities. Like for the Hispanic Heritage Month one, there were like activities that you could do at the local library that had to do with, different cultures. And like there was one thing that was like, tried a Latin food, and here's some cookbooks that you can learn to make something from. They also had classes and activities through the library that were like scheduled with the library system and everything like that. And then they show up in the app as well. So that was really cool. The Fall into Reading one is a challenge for getting a certain number of minutes logged. And the the goal is 300 minutes, and I'm currently on 8,678 minutes. It's like, you made it 100%. Thanks, guys. And then the Hallow Read, this one has the activities that you can do. There's books completed. You have a goal of 5 books to complete through the month of October, and then to write 3 reviews. And then they have activities listed, like attend a spooky themed event at your library, read a book on the Halloween book list, take a walk and enjoy the scenery, try a new to you treat, watch your favorite spooky movie. So things like that. Let me turn that brightness down so you can see. So it's stuff like that. And that's really cool. I like that they give you activities like this that are not only based in the library. So things like take a walk and enjoy the scenery or watch your favorite spooky movie. It's kind of like, hey, these are things you can do with your family or with your friends. When I looked at the watch your favorite spooky movie one, I immediately thought like, oh, it has to be Hocus Pocus because my friend Tiffany has not seen Hocus Pocus and I find that terrible. So we're going to watch Hocus Pocus together, and we'll probably make some sort of treat, a little snacky snack to go with that, and take a walk and enjoy the scenery. It's definitely something that I want to do, like take Tootie on walks, because it is starting to cool down a little bit. She says that it was like 80 something degrees today, but you know, it is what it is. And I just love that this app is like, they have more reading challenges and things. And then what it also does is keeps track of the books and things that you are reading and finishing throughout the month. So as of today, I have finished 9 books in the month of October, which is wild. That doesn't mean that they were all started in the month of October, but they were all finished in the month of October. Let's see, ones that I know that I started. Okay, so one of them I started on September 30th and finished in October. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Oh, I think all of these were finished. Were started and finished in the month of October. Well, there's that. So one of the things that I'm really falling in love with is listening to audiobooks, especially if I'm driving around, because everything is so far in Florida, or I'm sitting at home and I'm crocheting or knitting, I'm listening to audiobooks. I got myself a little book stand at the recommendation of Akira, and so I can set my book up as I'm, doing stuff, and I can like hold the book that way. So I have really been enjoying that. And I think out of the books that I have finished so far this month, my favorite has been The Monsters We Defy by Leslie Penelope. That one was a historical fiction with magic, set in the 1920s DC. And it was really cool. I rated it, I think I gave it 4 stars, but it's one of those books that I'm definitely going to buy so that I can read it again later on. But it was really good. And I also really enjoyed this anthology that I read called The Black Girl Survives in This One. And it's a collection of short stories where the Black girl doesn't die. And, if you're a fan of watching scary movies or horror movies, a lot of times, if there's a Black character, we don't make it to the end. We're either the first to go, or like we done with quickly, or we're like sacrificed for the good of the group or something like that. But this book was stories where the Black girl survives. And like, I think it was the second story in the book is set in space. And there's a moment in the book, or in the story, where the characters are, what do you call them? Like, I can't think of the word, but basically like they go into like shut down space stations and like make sure that they can reclaim anything that can be used again, that they clean up things. It's a word, I can't think of the word, but anyway, this is the things that they do. And there's like a sinister presence at this one space station, and there's a moment where the main character thinks that this being is going to take off her space helmet, and the idea of like suffocating, like as I'm reading this book, I realized that I was holding my breath. And then like as I finished it, it was really good. I enjoyed it. It was one of those stories that ended up with the like, will our heroes make it out alive? Yes, they made it out. But are they safe? Nothing else. I realized that stories or movies where the people are in a situation where you cannot breathe freak me out. Like, there's this movie that repeats in my head on just randomly, lives in there rent free. I think it's called Sanctum, where they're underwater in caves, and there's this one scene where the person has like no breathing equipment and they're going through this cave, breathing the little air bubbles on top of the cave. And I'm just like, I can breathe right now and I'm dead. I am actually dying. Like, that's what was happening to me while I was reading this book. I was just, So I really enjoyed that book. If you want to read kind of spooky, not really spooky, but like not overly scary, but just a little like, Black Girl Survives this one. Yes, I really enjoyed those. I also read Legends and Lattes, which was really cute. So yeah, I am really enjoying that app with the reading challenges and everything like that. But yeah. Okay. So now that we have chit-chatted about all of that reading stuff, the supplies that I was talking about are these. Okay. Come out of the bag. One of the things that I have noticed and that I'm kind of like about is like whenever I have my hardback books, especially library hardback books, I like to put my crocheted book sleeves on them, because I'm a tosser in the bagger. Like, if I'm reading a book, I have a physical book, it's getting thrown in my tote bags, book bags, car seat, whatever. So I want to have something on them to kind of like protect the edges and stuff. So I have been using the crocheted book sleeves that I made, which is great for hardback books, not so much for soft books or paperbacks. So I started searching to see if there was a like removable hardback book cover kind of thing. And maybe I'm not using the right words to search for this product, but I couldn't find anything. So being the maker I am, I decided I'm going to make one. So the idea is going to be to use these canvas panels. I'm going to cut them in half because I measured them up against like my biggest softback book. And if I cut this in half, it'll be enough, like large enough to handle any of my paperbacks. And I also measured it against the largest one that I have, like tallest, and then against the like with thickest ones. So the plan is going to be cut this in half so I have a front and a back. I'm going to cover it with this knit fabric. Now this fabric stretches this way, so not so much up and down, but it definitely stretches side to side. So my plan is going to be to leave the spine just fabric and have the front and back be the canvas boards. And then I bought some elastic to like hold the book in the cover. And then theoretically, I should be able to put any size book, any like thickness of book in it. And then because this stretches along what will be the spine, it'll just be the fabric part, that will be able to accommodate the change in thickness. And then the canvas panels will be able to protect the edges of my books from the trauma of being thrown in all of my bags. It works in my head. We'll see if it works in real life, but I have enough to make 3, I think. Yeah, I have enough to make 3. So hopefully one of them will work. And then I have this fabric for one of the covers, and then I had to get something starry for the other cover. Love it. And then my elastic, and I'm excited about this in that way, like that excitement that I get when I'm brainstorming and creating something in my mind and then trying to bring it into the real world, right? So I'm excited about that. Hopefully you'll see that on a future episode, and hopefully it works out. Let's see. The last bits on the podcast are Plant Mama Life and Whatnot. Now, Plant Mama, well, we'll do the Life and Whatnot section first, which is basically, we weathered Hurricane Milton. We didn't get any damage to the house here, which was really good. We didn't have like we didn't have any down trees, honestly. All of my plants stayed out on the front porch. They just got whipped around a little bit. I basically told them, like, you know, y'all need to thug it out. You imagine you're in the rainforest, you're fine. The only plants that I was really like precious about were my Hoya Carry Eyes and my Queen of the Night. I was feeling really precious about my Queen of the Night because she just recently bloomed for the first time, which is really, really awesome, especially since I grew her from cuttings. And that's just like amazing to me. Like I got 2 pieces of a Queen of the Night from the plant swap 2 or 3 years ago. And now she has grown into her own big plant and she bloomed. She had 3 blooms. I missed the first 2, but I caught the 3rd. And I am so excited to see future blooms on this plant. They were beautiful. But yeah, back to the hurricane. We were out of power for a couple of days, I think. We were out of power for 1 day. So like really, really not a huge deal comparatively speaking. But I'm glad that the area that I live in wasn't like super, super bad. There definitely are still some spaces near me that are really, really waterlogged still. But I'm grateful. Also, Tootie definitely slept through like the whole hurricane. It came through our area. I think it was around like 8 or 9 something at night. Homegirl slept through it. I was like, who are you? But yeah, so that is everything. Hi Toot. You wanna come say hi? Oh, no? Okay. She turned around and was like, no, actually, I don't want to come say hi. Thanks. But yeah, so I am going to straighten up all of this stuff. Probably watch a couple YouTube videos and start playing around with this idea for my hardback book cover just because it's the freshest thing in my brain, you know. So yeah, if you have bright spots, leave them in the comments. Thank you for watching. I hope that is everything that I intended on telling you guys. I hope that you are well, and yeah, thank you for being a part of my universe. See you later.